Good luck, John.
What's up, people? It's my channel now. Get ready for the John Show. We're only going to talk about weird indie horror from now on. So all your superhero shit, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless it's like, you know, the one or a couple that I take like a personal interest in. Just kidding. I love all that stuff too, just in a different way. What's up, Greg? How's it going? My guest for today, we're going to get into the acting method of Greg Alba, what he does to get in character as Greg Alba of YouTube, not just Greg Alba of life. Greg, what's your favorite swear word?
I think I'm just realizing this is a terrible idea.
Why?
Oh, we're going to do a top 10 list live.
I know anything could happen. And by anything, I mean unpopular opinions.
Usually what happens with the top 10 video is people hate you for having a difference of opinion because we should all be the same.
But here's the thing is now we can collect all that hate in real time and then forget about it as soon as the live stream's done, you know?
Well, the fun part is half these of the live streams just going to be people for requests to do reaction to videos.
Hello, Kratos God of War.
And yeah. Hey, look, how you guys doing? It's our first video back. I know we put up something yesterday, but we just started filming again today. John was out of town, then I was out of town. And I was like, you know what, it'd be fun just to kick off the new year with a live stream with you guys. And a lot of people were asking for top 10 videos of the best movies and stuff. So I thought, all right, we'll do a top 10. We'll just do it live, you know? Why put all that editing into it? Let's go live.
We're gonna do it Bill O'Reilly style.
Just so people are gonna hate us anyway. So let's check this out, and then after we're done doing the list, we'll look at what some of you guys are saying to us in the chat. Maybe take some questions.
Yeah, Despacito.
Yeah, we should do a John Campia style.
Yeah,
just super chat us, and you increase your odds of getting us to answer a question, huh?
If you super chat us, we'll literally change our opinion to your favorite movies.
Yeah.
If you pay enough, I will just make all of my top 10 whatever you like.
What's
up, Amy?
That John Campia, man, he's a smart guy. He's a really nice guy too. If you guys haven't seen my episode that I did on with him, super, super nice. He's Canadian, makes sense.
Yeah.
He's got a good business going. The John Campia show, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man. Could take some notes from
we're doing a live stream. Why don't we just make an announcement and say we're just going to copy John Campia. From now on, just live streams. We
should just announce that we're joining his channel as like a featured, personality, and then like start a rumor ourselves, and then maybe it'll just have to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he's already had you on, man.
I concur. Is John wearing a Hitler shirt?
I'm not. It's Edgar Allan Poe, and I can prove it because there's a quote from his writings on it. So no, it's not Hitler. I don't love white supremacy or Nazis or any of that shit. But Overlord was a bitchin' movie.
You know what we could do is we could we'll put whatever they want at our number for depending on how much they super chat us.
Oh, thanks, hubby.
I mess with you too, hubby.
Brendan Barreto says John is gay.
John, we got to do the list.
We do. But
enough about your gayness, all right? Let's do a list, all right? Okay.
Whoa, the people are giving you fashion advice now, though. See,
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Okay, look. So we're going to do is countdown, all right? At number 10, we share this list. Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That was actually
we
something
saved
special.
For the least best. But
it's the least best. But I mean, when you switch directors like that, you think you're going to get like a tonally inconsistent film. But what was cool is they actually managed to really pull it off. And Donald Glover's great. And I might say I prefer him over Harrison Ford.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, just the general like sepia level of color that movie has, to its personality. Yes. Like that's what I want out of Star Wars is something like really straightforward and like not too unique in any way, and that's what I think. So Solo gave us a very pedestrian Star Wars, and that's the level I want to see them.
It's after The Last Jedi. I'm really relieved we got something like Solo, a Star Wars story
to really put things back on track.
People are already disagreeing with us. It's too bad. Number 9, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. After I saw Jurassic World, just
remember when movies just had one title?
Yeah, I was I was a little worried that we couldn't top Jurassic World, and we did.
Was too. I was
We
worried
did.
we couldn't.
That volcano sequence. What I love is how they like grounded it in reality, you know. And a lot of people weren't on board for the whole, like having a home invasion horror or taking cues from, the werewolf movies and stuff.
It really reminded me of Joe Johnston's The Wolfman.
Yeah, the Wolfman. So, but then I found out
They're literally shot.
that was actually the smartest choice they've had since the first Jurassic Park movie.
I would arguably say that it's almost as good as the first Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah,
it's at least better than Part 2.
God, you think by now that some people would be agreeing with us. Okay, so number 8 we have Red Sparrow.
Oh, loved it.
After the work that director French guy did with Jennifer Lawrence and the Hunger Games movies, I was excited they were going to reunite, and boy, do they deliver.
Oh, he's French?
Or something else.
I thought Gary Ross directed it.
Oh, he directed the first one, but the guy who directed all the other ones.
Yeah. Copy that.
Or the last 2 or something. I don't know.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I thought that Jennifer Lawrence really nailed that accent, and I thought she did such a great job. She redefined the trope of woman has to get assaulted in order to be a tough character. They made that work.
Yeah, more than anything,
better than the movie Revenge.
More than anything, I feel like they took their sexual politics and really earned every ounce of having them on screen by backing it up with some kind of commentary.
Yes,
is what Red Sparrow definitely did.
Visually beautiful.
It wasn't just exploited.
Hey, Joseph Nispel, thank you for agreeing with our choices.
I blindly thank you for not even questioning, because that's what we want.
Okay, so John, why don't you tell me our number 7 choice?
Our number 7 choice is Robin Hood.
Who would have thunk they could do it?
Dude, Taron Egerton. That's all right. And Jamie Foxx. They needed this.
When I heard that they were gonna Batman Begins this, little did I know.
Dude, Slender's
they were gonna actually Batman Begins this. John,
they really did.
You can't be distracted when we're trying to give our honest opinion.
I'm trying to please the people.
I don't want people disagreeing with us.
I am a people pleaser.
I don't want people getting mad at us.
I am a people pleaser.
I can't deal with the negativity right now.
This message
that's happening. So,
all right, Robin Hood.
Jesus, already?
Robin Hood.
Right? Robin Hood. Yeah. The action was great. It reminded me of the movie Arrow meets the show Arrow meets the movie 300. And
I think
it's really underrated.
Since the beginning of mythology and folk tales, people have been waiting for a modern badass take on this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been in the age that it's set in for way too long.
And also the actor that everyone loves,
Ben Mendelsohn.
He's good. He's in it too.
Ben Mendelsohn, really killing it in that one role he always plays in every movie now, despite his huge range of talent.
I think it was a great idea that we live stream our opinion.
I think
instead of really thinking this over.
Because think about it, in a video, people don't have to watch the whole thing, but in a live stream, they definitely do. So they're going to hear everything we have to say before making a judgment.
That way you can be clear about why you like it. And so number 6, we have the Meg.
The Meg,
the Meg,
one of the best.
Okay, when you think I'm going to get some really campy, silly, really expensive sci-fi channel movie, you get that, but even more depth in the movie, which really took me back. I was surprised.
When I think of memorability, I think of the Meg.
The Meg.
Yeah.
Easily way better. I mean, I think it deserves the top spot of number 6 here.
It's at least better than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, that's
saying a lot.
That is the actual truth. Yes.
What's number 5 though? 5 golden rings. It's Christmas time.
5 was crazy because we didn't know this movie was even coming out till the day before it came out. They dropped a trailer at Super Bowl, and then the trailer was like, "Whoa, what is this?
What the fuck?"
And we got something even weirder and stranger and character defined, the Cloverfield paradox.
I walked in wanting to hate this, but the opposite thing happened.
The
opposite thing. It's not a frustrating movie. You just can't say that it's frustrating. It has
so good,
so many cool, weird sci-fi Twilight Zone-y elements that it really, really pays off all of them.
John,
and it's
right there with you.
Yeah, it gave me faith that Cloverfield is a franchise.
Okay, so how much super chat are we at? Are people agreeing with us?
I think we're at $4 now.
Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay, good. All right, good. Looks like no one has any of our movies on their list. That's
Justice
weird.
League 2 will definitely come out.
Number 4.
Number 4.
This movie is like best resembles Us.
I didn't want to put this too high on the list because it just came out and you need to let time pass. But yeah, it's just like Us, and it's Holmes and Watson.
Watson.
The definitive version of this movie. See, the thing is, like, Benedict Cumberbatch, he thinks he can walk into, he thinks he can be Khan, he thinks he can be the Grange,
anybody.
He thinks he can be Sherlock Holmes.
He can't be anybody.
You know, like, I thought it was going to be hard to outshine Robert Downey, but, you know, Will Ferrell, man, he's killing the game.
Now, when I think of Sherlock Holmes, I think of Will Ferrell.
And intelligence.
It's
the smartest movie I've seen all
And when I think of Watson, I think of my girlfriend's cat named Watson.
Still, John C. Reilly, but you think of him right after that.
I mean, John C. Reilly has had a killer year.
Oh, yeah.
The Sister Brothers, Ralph Breaks the Internet, not Wallace and Gromit, Ollie, Ollie and Hardy, Hardy and Ollie.
No, it's Ollie and Stan and Ollie. There you go.
Stan and Ollie, yeah,
Syphil and Ollie.
and but to top it off, none of it beats his performance in Watson.
No, I can't.
Nathan Hansen, thanks for the $2. I'm going to give you a spoiler. Mission Impossible may or may not be mentioned. This is my live stream personality. Number 3, you'd think you'd be sick of YA novels, but it's really hard.
I want so many.
I think where have the YA novel adaptations been lately? And
yeah, you've been thinking that.
Yeah, and then you hear Peter Jackson back in the game. They make trailers that make it look like Peter Jackson's directing, but he's not. And then you watch the movie. Whoa, it's like world building. It's like Mad Max as a city.
Whoa, wait. Peter Jackson didn't direct this movie?
But it feels like he did, right?
I could have sworn that he directed this movie. Wow.
Is this a bit?
No, I thought the facts were that he directed Mortal Engines.
Oh, shit. Whoa. Hold on. We're getting some super chats. Joseph Nispel. Yo.
Are you related to the director of the Friday the 13th remake?
Rich Reviews. One of the worst films of the year is Roma. Everyone should announce that film. You know what? I got to agree.
Yeah.
I got to agree.
You know, I don't think that guy's got any artistic talent.
I got to agree.
And I think it should be only seen on smaller than Netflix.
When I was first
Vine.
like, what the fuck? Why are they putting his movie on Netflix? This is the kind of movie you need to see in the theaters. Then I saw it in the theaters and went, I should have just watched this on Netflix, man.
Yeah,
that was something. Niraj Krishnan. We might mention Hurricane Heist, you beautiful son of a bitch. He's part of our Patreon page, too.
Also, thank you for tipping such a weirdly specific amount.
Well, you know, he's in New Jersey. I almost said Indian, and that would have made it sound racist.
You don't want to do that.
I didn't say it, John.
It's good that you avoided that because, Mortal Engines, though.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple years ago, we got this, like, prequel start of a franchise to the Harry Potter world called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And I was on the spectrum of, I like this movie. Do I really want to see a franchise? Then they announced Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, starring none other than the most beloved celebrity in the world, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp.
Oh, people love both of them.
People love both of them equally. So
I don't see what's so funny. That's just the truth.
I know. I just can't help but smile at the joy the world gives. And so we went to go watch this movie.
Definitely, we did.
And
I saw it.
The movie starts. It's great. And then you know what? 15 minutes later, it gets even better.
It gets so much more better than we could have ever imagined it to be. Where we were like, I think this movie could be doing more, honestly. But as it stands, it did more than any other movie.
You might find like, whoa, there's a lot of story here, and they managed to tell it all in such a cohesive, easy to follow, and weirdly, primarily without exposition.
Never. That's the thing. It's all visual storytelling. See, like when they put The Hobbit in 48 frames and there was so much more visual information, it's like, take that, but apply it to a script, man. It's like every character is the main character of their own movie. It's great. See, if we were recording this, we could have trimmed this down to at least 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. All right. So before we unveil our number 1 pick, hold on, I just thought of another one that we have to mention the honorable mentions for. Oh, definitely. Our number 1 pick for our favorite movie of the year
Well, let's mention some honorable mentions.
Slender Man for sure.
Slender Man was a solid.
I
thought it was cool. You know how Infinity War used trailer footage that
not
wasn't in the movie?
Yeah.
I thought it was clever that
I think we need more
that Slender did that for most of the movie.
Yeah, no, because like that's the future of cinema right there. Is they're going to show you a trailer complete. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Show a trailer that's just like the movie, but it's not at all the movie.
Smart.
And there you go. People are going to be
total surprise. And number 3, I Feel Pretty. I thought it was a good movie about embodying being overweight. And Truth or Dare. This was the scariest movie Blumhouse has released in a while.
And the smartest, and the most unique.
Yeah. And plus it stars Lucy Hale.
What's up, Lucy? I know you're watching.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Hurricane Heist.
We skipped number 4.
Number 4. Hurricane Heist was great. Our number 1 honorable mention is Nutcracker in the Four Realms.
Loved it.
If you think you've seen enough Nutcracker, you've not seen it like this with Helen Mirren and Morgan Freeman in there.
You've not seen it needlessly expanded.
That's when you got a real movie. Hey, Joseph Nispel, $6. No, sorry, man.
Damn, that's cool.
That is cool
about you. But I'm happier that to know you,
John. I'm feeling like Jason Momoa about an hour and a half into Aquaman. I'm losing my energy right now.
You want to get to the number 1 pick?
Let's keep this going.
Get to number 1 pick. Let's raise that energy up. We're doing good.
All right. So
every super chat gets you energy.
Rich Reviews. Remind me that you asked this question. How do you pull up just the super chat one?
Favorite sex scene.
Can you email John Campia for me, acting like you're me, so you can ask him how I had to do this?
Maybe it's in those 3 dots there. No, click that one.
Look, John. Look, sorry. There are just some conversations you shouldn't have during a live stream.
All right.
Okay. So, Rich Reviews. Remind me that you asked that question. You just need to write it down. Best sex scene movie. Sex scene this year. Okay. So our number 1 pick, our top 10. And if you're just now tuning into the live stream, ask someone else to catch you up.
There's still time to donate to our telethon.
If you just got in, I've seen some new people just got in. All right, let me just break this down really quick for you. 10, Solo: A Star Wars Story is number 10 favorite movie of the year. 9,
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, hands down.
8, Red Sparrow.
7, Robin Hood.
6, The Meg.
5, A Cloverfield Paradox.
4, Holmes and Watson.
3, Mortal Engines.
2, Fantastic Beasts 2. And number 1,
50 Shades Freed. Also our best Stardust post of the year.
That movie blew someone away.
It blew my pants away at the very least.
It was, you think that sexual tension couldn't get any hotter? Wait till you get married.
Don't wear pants to that theater because you're going to need new ones at the end.
Amen to that.
And it doesn't matter who you go with. The people behind me were like an older mother and her younger but still kind of older son. It was a very diverse crowd. It reaches all peoples with this message of sex.
Other than when people were laughing during the movie intentionally, might I add?
Because they harness the power of self-aware comedy.
Mm-hmm. The theater was silent. No other silent movie experienced by a crowd.
No.
There's been a Quiet Place.
But that wasn't even as quiet as this one.
No, not as this one.
When they go into the playroom,
you know why?
Pin drop.
Invested.
Flesh, like a piercing.
And it has a rewarding ending. And okay.
Don't miss the climax.
And now if you guys have spent almost 20 minutes with us in this live stream, and you stay here the whole time,
give yourself a golf clap.
Thank you. Oh shit, John, we read the wrong list.
Oh no, what? We're Ron Burgundy.
What did we do?
Whatever you put in front of us, we're gonna read off the
fuck yourself, San Diego.
We found the real list though.
We found the real list, and what do you know? You have 10 and I have 10.
Oh, what? They're different. We're not sharing them.
You know what? You know how it's funny about that? John and I started off saying we got to act like we're super serious, and then I think right when we started, we're like, "There's no way we can be serious about it.
We have to be heightened serious. We need to be serious."
I think as long as we just commit to the joke, we're okay. Amy O'Neill says she loves you.
Oh, I love you too.
What are you gonna tell her? Huh?
She loves the both.
What are you gonna show her?
Earlier on in the chat, because I was looking, and she said she loved us both, but I guess she loves me slightly more than you. So
wow, I haven't had enough of that this week.
sorry.
All right, look, we're gonna go through our actual number 10. We won't spend as much time. We're gonna dish these out for you guys.
Say the name.
Rich reviews. Does Lucy Hale need to get a better agent? I think her agent is doing just fine. I saw her hosting that New Year's thing, and she looks great, and she looks happy, and people always present them best selves online or on television. Don't forget these words.
Most definitely.
Also, it's really hard to break sarcastic.
I know. See, you gotta get all genuine now. You gotta tap into the love.
And as your other question, best sex scene in a movie. It was with Ethan Hawke and Angelina Jolie in Taking Lives, because I did not know that scene was going to happen at my teenage year. I watched it, and sure enough, my mom's sitting right next to me. So,
oh boy,
to
King Lives.
All right, guys, here we go. My number 10 pick for my favorite film of the year. This is my intellect pick. This is my pick where I'm like, this is the one that's mainly coming from the mind and less from the, because weirdly, there's other movies that I was like, I really just feel a lot more for that are going to be my honorable mentions. But this one was like, I got to have at least one of these be just solely for that purpose. And it was Bad Times at the El Royale. Look, I still want to see that. All these movies that I'm about to list, we have movie reviews for already on the internet that you can go watch. So I'm not going to break. That's why I kind of find it funny when people try to re-review them again.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have a really different opinion.
Colorful Colorado you're going to get blocked right now because this is many a time.
The thing is, Colorful Colorado is usually very supportive, and it's this one issue that we cannot seem to talk sense into him about.
Well, I don't know why. John, it's about to get real. You wanted sincerity? It's about to get real.
There would be no channel with no Greg.
All you need to do is get offended.
There would be
and then you get the real Greg in here.
That's what this channel is. You're going to enter your M&M's phase where your main source of creative inspiration is just having to prove that you're the best.
That's where most of my life is. Yeah. All right. So, Bad Times at the El Royale, I thought was written wonderfully. And that's for some reason, even though I didn't love it, it stuck with me. And like a film that like sticks with you where you just keep looking back on it. Yeah. And keep going. This was kind of cool what they did. A film that grows on you over time. And the performance. And Chris Hemsworth, it was like one of the scariest things all year that I've seen. Was in that movie. See, I really want to see this. Yeah, man. I would say Bad Times at the El Royale. I was really, you could really feel the character history, and I love good character.
Hell yeah, man. I feel like that's the way that's my favorite way to approach any top 10.
This whole chat's becoming about how everyone loves you more. You know what, John? You just do the top 10 list from now on. You just saw the real Greg.
Oh, look out. Oh, well, okay. Well, my number one is some very cerebral bullshit. I don't know. It's just not the same without Greg. See, now it's like there's a void here.
It's not happening.
And all I'm thinking about is how all of my top 10s are just Greg in all of our various sketches. That's my number 10 pick is our Infinity War sketch, because Greg is just so committed to it. And he's so sincere. And even though he's happy at first that I'm getting dusted, he does cry for me. And that 50% love right there, I really think was the most touching thing I felt all year. So number 10 is our Infinity War sketch. Number 9 is our Fallout, Mission Impossible Fallout sketch.
You know what? I don't need anyone's approval.
Wow, confidence.
I'm here no matter what. Even if you hate me. I'm here.
Dude, all that Greg love. But look, now there's so much Greg love in the... Oh, you got Greg is hotter. That's even better.
Who said that? Was my girlfriend.
I like you both, but Greg is hotter. Greg should run for hay. That's even better.
Grab him by the pussy. Right.
Hey, love from Iceland.
So, what's your number 10 pick?
My number...
We just stop committing to these...
My number 10, I decided when I first arranged just all of my picks, I don't love putting things in order of favorites. So I initially put them in. I
just feel like you get all the sex appeal,
I am a flubby twig person who in 2019 hopes to put some muscles on his frame. But for right now, you are way sexier than me, especially in that department. I originally organized these by date of release because that's easier to me than ranking them in terms of favoritism. But to put them in a 10, I went with the most recent release last because I feel like that's fair. And it's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, because that movie, especially for the animated flicks of the year and the superhero flicks of the year, I found so enjoyable and so creative and visually groundbreaking. Like, that movie fired on every cylinder for me, and that's what I wish that so many more comic book films in general would embrace is, you know, that instead of trying to bring all of the physics down to earth, let's go out there and let's get, you know, sci-fi about it. And I love the personality of the movie, the look of the movie. Like, that's the most dazzled and just effortlessly joyous I think I've been during a superhero movie this year. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, only 10 because there's just not been that much time.
Unconfident about that pick? Because you didn't look at them once while you were saying that.
To get on a roll, I just looked wherever I needed to look.
I mean, John.
Yes?
That's why the ladies love you, man.
Because I follow my eyes.
Look, number 9, all right? John, you can't leave the bags
now
out.
I feel unloved because of all your love.
All right, number 9 is a movie that I haven't seen anyone's top 10 list. I saw JTE's. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone's put this on their top 10 list, but you know what? Fuck it. I love it more than the first one. I got Deadpool 2 on here,
yeah.
okay? That's my opinion.
Great.
Surprisingly, no one's getting mad at me.
Hey.
Thank God. Because my emotions are determined by people's opinions.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so
always,
please,
always,
John, go.
Always. My number 9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not mini reviewing these.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to I give you blunt feedback on these.
Number 9, I put American Animals. I don't necessarily think it's a perfect movie. I think it's kind of you could debate it from multiple angles, but it was one of the most unique and memorable movies I saw all year. So hell yeah.
And also that finale.
I'll
tell you, John.
Yeah.
All right,
and the mesh of genres.
I think we got to just, stick to this like real live stream movie news people who wear beanies and Hitler shirts. So
love that Hitler.
Right.
Love that Hitler. Speaking of Hitler,
my number 8 pick is actually the movie Overlord. If you had enough of horror during your October season, well, don't worry. A week later, there was another treat for you. That movie really, really stuck with me, man.
One of the nicest surprises.
That was a surprise film. I was wildly impressed with how that all went down, because you do start off with just this, like, whoa, this is like the horrors of World War II.
Yeah.
And the zombie shit's like barely in there, but the movie's engaging and fucking well acted, dude. Well acted. And the effects had some genuine, like, I don't know, you seem like a stickler for body horror too, huh?
I love some good body horror.
I love some good body horror, and there's some good body horror movements. Also done with some CGI. Yeah. And usually any body horror with CGI is like, whatever.
Yeah.
But there are moments where the whole crowd, including myself, were like, oh,
That movie knew for whatever their budget was, that movie had a good mixture of CG and practical, where it didn't always, 100% mesh, but they knew where to put them all.
Yeah.
And fun fact.
Oh, I forgot about the AC's choice.
Oh, damn. I see. Okay. For the very end of this broadcast, I came up with a couple, like, not rankings, but just like a little awards, kind of like the Oscars do, where it's like, here's a, lifetime achievement or something.
Yeah.
So let's, maybe, yeah.
Go, John.
Actually, fun fact, both Deadpool 2 and Overlord almost made my 10. So there you go.
Wow. That is a fact of
you
fun.
You said
right
nobody was putting Deadpool 2. Well, I almost, number 8 for me, though, I'm going to go with Hereditary. Not a movie that I loved every choice they made, but it's one of the most memorable and one of the most intense film-going experiences I've had all year. It was a very physical movie to watch. Thank you, Chris Culp.
He loves both John Humphrey and Ryan Wright equally.
He clearly loves
both equally.
Us both equally. He's up to date.
Thanks, Chris Culp.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, that's a movie where it just like everything is so crafted and so well realized that even if I didn't necessarily love every choice that it made, it wrenched my jaw open at one point, harder than any movie I saw this year. Toni Collette is definitely getting snubbed at all these Oscar things or these awards things. And yeah, it's one of those movies where I'm like, I don't care really what my opinion is about the plot. I really
It's a great
appreciate what she did here.
It's a great film and funnier than you'd expect.
So fun,
so funny,
hilarious black comedy.
That's the Hereditary impression right there.
Definitely.
That's the impression. Nah. Someone says, if I had to play a game of charades where I can't speak and I had to get someone to guess Hereditary, I would just do that bit.
The Hereditary impression is this.
What? I would think of The Conjuring.
Oh, I thought we were doing a joke bit, and then I went for Bird Box. Because everybody be talking about that Bird Box.
Okay,
right
guys, number 7 is the feel-good movie of the year for me. I fell in love with this movie. Yeah. It just really touched my heart. And as a man who recently did a DNA ancestry results test and found out I am primarily of Asian descent, Crazy Rich Asians makes it on the list for me, people.
Oh, damn.
I actually, when I heard they're making a sequel, I said, fuck yeah. I could step back into this movie. I love that. Yeah.
Worked for Greek Wedding.
That made me so happy. It was that, if there's any movie on this list that just like, I was really happy for like 99% of that movie. Even when it's terrible for her in that film and there's a dead fish on her bed, I'm happy for her. Yeah.
True that, my friend. True that. Now, number 7 for me, I wonder, I don't know if we're going to come into some overlap, but number 7 for me is Mr. Thomas the Cruise in his action opus of the year. Definitely one of the most spectacular and just gripping on a physical level.
Dude, The Mummy came out last year.
Hey, but it's still one of my favorite movies since then, you know, especially with the way that Jake Johnson, like Jake Johnson killing it. Anyway. Oh, Mission Impossible Fallout, baby cakes. I mean, it's one of the, just like one of the most crafted. I get why people call it the Mad Max this year. They're not alike very much, but they are just tangible in such a satisfying way. And also, even though, I mean, some of the finer details of Mission Impossible movies, I don't really keep great track of. It is one of their most solid and like fleshed out adventures. And if it's not my favorite of the series, it's up there because it was just such a great time. And I have a sentimental attachment because of our sketch. I feel like I should do my number 6 first.
Why? What's yours? All right.
My number 6 is also Crazy Rich Asians because I kind of agree with everything you just said. It just is like of all the movies I saw this year, it made me perhaps just the most joyous.
Yeah.
And I love a movie that takes me to just sort of a different culture for a while. Like the same way Greek Wedding kind of does. I feel like Crazy Witch Asians almost even more does that.
Crazy Witch Asians.
Crazy Witch Asians. That's my remake because they're all going to be wicked.
I think that we should have done like 10 honorable mention. 10
honorable mention. Yeah, that's what we should.
My number 6 movie is Upgrade, yo.
Yeah.
Upgrade. Discount Tom Hardy, am I right?
No! Is LMG. Call it LMG.
I want to take the opportunity to talk about this really quick. Earlier today, John and I got into a discussion about how much we hate that people say Logan Marshall Green and they just go, discount Tom Hardy. I feel like that really takes away a lot of praise and a lot of actual acknowledgement of his talent and who he is, because he is such an amazing actor. And then whenever people are like, just discount Tom Hardy, I'm like, that does not mean he's any less talented, and it just sounds that way.
Well, and it attaches his identity to another actor and just makes people think of Tom Hardy. And it's like, you can learn his name. LMG, at least, abbreviate it, but Logan Marshall Green, hell yeah.
I love negative comments like Colorful Colorado's of like, no hate here, dude, just honesty. When you say something mean,
tact.
That logically makes 0 sense, my friend. Upgrade was I think Logan Marshall Green's amazing. The action in that film, man, that's like redefining some action sequences. Now every time I see a fucking like punch and then the camera moves with the punch, I'm like, is that fucking Upgrade?
Right. Yeah. Like, because that movie has such a bold.
And what else? Style, yeah. That was also, and hey, that guy, I love your comment. He may be discount Tom Hardy, but Venom was discount Upgrade.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good way to come back, man.
That is great.
What were we talking about with the Upgrade? Something about Upgrade? Yeah. I saw a comment like,
you were talking about the action, and like every time they do those shots where it's like that.
And also, that was the one movie this year that, other than like Infinity War, that really made me like audibly participate with a crowd. Just because it really gets you going. Yeah,
it's so easy to
like cheering and shit and clapping and going like whoa, like saying all that shit. Like that film really had me going there, man.
Yeah, for sure. My number 5 wound up being a movie we saw really early this year, but that I very much appreciated and is taking my like out there slot, and that is Annihilation, Alex Garland's writing and directing sophomore effort. It's really weird. It's not a crowd pleaser or anything like that, but I really appreciate that somebody decided to fund that kind of sci-fi. I wish there was more of that kind of sci-fi. I think that movie handles what it is really well, and it manages to paint a hard to decipher metaphor in a way that you could actually decode, which I think is hard. A lot of movies can hide behind just being so obtuse that who knows? But I feel like you could draw some compelling theories out of Annihilation. There's a lot of great work on screen, design-wise, acting-wise, writing, directing, all that stuff. It's great.
I'm right there with you, John. Jason Dolan, my friend.
Dolan, what's up, buddy?
That's perfect, because I was going to ask you, my friend, if I could borrow $2. So thank you.
Specifically. I'm always happy when I see your name, man.
You know, it's funny. I forgot there were some movies we didn't review. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I have to swap out one of my top 5.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, please. Hey, man, anything can happen. We said this at the top.
That's the thing, man.
Who knows?
That's why it's better to film these, because opinions can be subject to change.
Definitely. Even by the minute.
Yeah, they can.
Remember that top 10 we did before? That's my favorites now.
If you declare a movie as your favorite movie ever, that can never change, you know? Okay, for my number 5, I have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Ooh. This was the only film. There are movies that I bought tickets for like twice in advance. Like Infinity War, I was already scheduled to go twice. Aquaman, I was scheduled to go twice. Like I already had it booked out. Yeah. But Into the Spider-Verse was the one movie I saw this year where I watched it, and literally right after I went on my phone and got tickets right away to go see it again. I just knew I had to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the first time I watched it, I was just purely dazzled. And the second time I watched it, I felt like I was more emotional towards a lot of things that actually occur with Miles Morales in that movie. Mm-hmm. Because before you're taking in so much, but the second time around, I got a little misty-eyed at a couple points. So I would say Into the Spider-Verse, man, what an achievement.
I haven't gotten to see it again, but that is, of all these movies, that is one that I definitely want to try and see again before it's out.
Especially in the theaters, yeah.
Yeah, that just feels like a special movie for some reason. Number 4 for me. Number 4. We did the switch. That's why. Okay, number 4 on my list is one of the weirder movies that I've seen this year, but I really appreciate it as just sort of like, you know, a new director's vision, and also that had a lot on its mind, and that was Sorry to Bother You, which I saw very late in the game. And there are a number of movies, like I didn't get to see all the things I want to see this year by far. And there are a number of movies in this vein that I missed out on too. So I don't know what might happen if I see more of last year's movies, but this movie left a big impression on me. I mean, I'm a big fan of Lakeith Stanfield anyway, so I'm psyched that he got to star in a movie full out. I really like how surreal and strange and dark the comedy is. And I like the magic realism. Again, it's just another one of those movies that I really appreciated, both for just the fact that somebody decided to let this get made, because I don't see things like this very often. And I thought that it managed to take a socially relevant idea and make it part of a story in a way that you can draw like an actual real life application from, but that doesn't feel like the whole time it's trying to jam down my throat. Like it's trying to tell me something. I feel like it really is like a piece of art that has a consciousness on its mind. And I appreciate that about it. So yeah.
My number 4 is Avengers Infinity War.
Woo!
I saw it 3 times in the theaters. It's going on this list.
Damn.
John?
Number 3. My number 3 is your number 6. I'm going with Upgrade, which was one of the most fun and satisfying movie experiences this year for me. We got to go to the premiere. It was super awesome. We met LMG even. And that was one of those movies. I don't get excited as much as I want to, because it's hard to do that nowadays, because a lot of things are made to look as cool as possible and can be very disappointing. And, I'm a big fan of Lee Wanell, and I was rooting for him. And this was one of those movies where I was like, I'm just gonna let myself be excited and hope that it works out. And it worked out, and I just had such a great time watching that movie. And yeah, it's fucking awesome. Like it's nice to see some cyberpunk, and the action is like top notch. And Logan Marshall Green, like I've been a fan of that guy for a long time, since Devil, actually, since I first saw him in that movie. And I'm glad that he's finally getting some more recognition because of this. So, you know, what's your number 3, Greg?
Good at this whole like movie review thing.
Really? You think I should try it?
No, guy, you would fail.
I probably would.
You would fail.
I probably would.
Oh man,
I don't know how to form opinions.
My number 3 pick is Mission Impossible Fallout.
Ooh.
You know why it's my number 3 pick?
Why is that?
Because it's the coolest action movie all year.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like out of all the action movies, this is the one, dude. Admittedly, the only disappointing thing about it was I thought Henry Cavill would be a little cooler. But
Totally.
other than that, the movie hits every mark ever. Like, to be dazzled by practical stunts and have such emotional intensity to every single act. Like, that's a long movie.
Yeah.
Fallout is a long movie.
It's not hard
When
to
I
watch
see that length, it's a turnoff. You know? Then you watch it, and it's not just, oh, there's just so much action. It's fun because there's so much action in it. It's emotionally engaging throughout, man. Yeah. And it is tense. And it's the only other, it's like, it's so hard to have me go in a franchise this deep in and go, oh shit, you think he'll lose?
Yeah, right?
You know?
Like they really do a good job making it seem dire.
Yeah, I really dug that film a lot. You know, I thought Henry Cavill was good in it. He just thought he might have been a little like cooler of a character, but I thought he was good.
And that's not all on him either, because I feel like if the advertising hadn't blown that, we might have seen that character differently.
Yeah. You just think about things. I'm like, what are some of the coolest things you've seen all year? When Tom Cruise ran again with a broken ankle. Tom Cruise flying a fucking real helicopter. Tom Cruise on a motorcycle. Tom Cruise jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
The bathroom fight. There's so many cool, like, just so many things in that film.
And that film gave us the fist, like, no matter what Cavill, the fist cock, man.
I will say Fallout is the best trailer of the year only because of that one moment. Because the second Henry Cavill combined with sound effects cocked his fucking
and
arms.
that pocket that shows up.
What? Oh, the pocket. Yeah. Okay. When he cocked his arms.
Yeah.
That made everyone go, the mustache was worth it.
Yes.
The mustache was worth it.
This whole movie is the mustache was worth it.
Yes,
like,
that is the best trailer of the year. And it fucking lives up when you watch that movie, man. That was just such a cool movie, really tense. And yeah. And you hear he's doing another one, you're like, yay. You know?
Yeah. Man, hell yeah. That's one I am gonna be sad when they can't anymore. But number 2
when he can't,
at least. Yeah. Number 2 for me, I deliberated over this whole list, but number 2 for me was a movie I saw not too long ago, and that was just a little thing, but that really impressed me and really stuck with me, and is sort of centered around just a world we don't ever really get to look at in now times or any other times. And that was a movie called Cam, which went to Netflix. I just threw it on a whim one night.
Yeah. And
it's such a fraught, weird thriller that really just is nifty and works, and it's shot really well, and it's, you know, like an actual cam girl wrote it, so it has like this very knowing, like, it is like watching the lifestyle of somebody, but also with this weird thriller also happening through it, so you're getting kind of 2 experiences at once. And I just thought it was really creative how they handled it, and the lead actress does a terrific job. I don't know, it was one of the more pleasant surprises I had this year, and since I saw it, it really stuck with me. So
yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Highly recommend it.
I participate in webcam chats quite often.
Do you make a lot? Do you get?
I make a lot.
Get tips?
Yeah. I'm the entertainer. I don't. No, my girlfriend would never let me. It's all obese men who want to look at me.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, I mean, you know, you're providing a valuable.
Yeah. If it was like women, no. Oh gosh, she would not allow that. She would be pissed.
So you're on like the grinder of campsites.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only,
I'm sure that
only
exists.
obese men could look at me.
I just want to know what that site's called, but don't say it because you don't want people.
Obeseboys.com.
Obeseboys.com. Hell yeah!
All right, my number 2. Shit, man. I want to switch this around. You know what? Okay.
As long as you switch it before you say what you're.
My number 2. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say Black Panther. Yeah, I'm gonna say Black Panther. Yeah. You see, as we were doing this, 2 movies came up that I totally forgot about. But I'm like, oh shit, I didn't forget about them. And it was Bumblebee and Black Klansman.
Oh yeah.
And then I had this like
I wanted to see Black
weird thought where I was like, well, maybe I'll switch Black Panther with Black Klansman. I'm like, but if I say that, does it just sound like I'm just taking like black movies and switching them around? And then I'm like, is that a weird thing to do? Does that sound strange? Maybe me just talking about it sounds strange.
I don't know if somebody in the comments is more enlightened than we are.
That's why I'm changing my pick to Blind Spotting.
Sorry to bother you.
No.
Beale Street can talk.
No, I did like Black. I love Black Panther. I did. That was that's to me. There's a lot of very culturally important movies. There's a lot of very important films that do not come in the form of blockbusters, people. And I thought Black Panther really nailed it. You know, as a man who is from Africa himself, it really spoke to me. You know,
you do have some African roots there. Really lean in.
If you watch my DNA and ancestry results, you know I am like 0.01% African, so I have a lot of pride. That's why Crazy Rich Asians is my number 1. I changed.
That's what we really asked that question.
Yeah, I thought Black Panther. That's one of the movies I saw twice. I was like, I have to see this movie twice.
Yeah,
and I'm a sucker. You know what I am? I'm a sucker for a movie that does variety well. You know, there are some movies that are very contained and very specific, and sometimes those are the crowning achievements in my eyes of that year. But then every once in a while you get a movie like we were talking about The Matrix for a long time beforehand. And I don't think Black Panther's not part of The Matrix, but the way how The Matrix does so much variety so well, where it's like you're able to tell just a cohesive, strong character story, good villains, yada yada yada, good plot, but then also have like a lot more nuance to it than just that, and some symbolism and whatnot. So I was I really love that movie. It really moved me a lot, and every time I've seen it, I cry when Killmonger is giving his final speech.
Oh,
every single time I watch it. Yeah,
this is actually a perfect segue because I get the sense that there are at least a couple movies that you debated about, and actually, I have some honorable mentions prepared, and perhaps my biggest honorable mention is Black Panther because that's a movie I really enjoyed, really appreciated. And I kind of agree with you. I love the idea that you can have this blockbuster that's totally satisfying in all the ways a blockbuster is, but that's also super cultural and that doesn't have to just be white people. And I really appreciated it, and that movie really stuck with me.
Don't get me wrong. Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman were the best parts.
I love Claw. But the best, 100%.
The standouts.
Yeah.
Whenever they cut to Killmonger, I'm like, oh, quit his whining. Where's Martin Freeman?
yeah, exactly. That's who we really paid to see. But Black Panther definitely made. And then
there's a guy named John Reese upsetting people in the comments because he keeps asking us to react to this fan film called Marvel Knight Spider-Man.
Marvel Knight Spider-Man, and I've seen a lot of requests for the PewDiePie rewind for this year.
Nah, PewDiePie doesn't like us.
Yeah, he hates us.
I figured just by saying that might make PewDiePie aware of who we are.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Grace.
Someone's gonna be like,
Grace.
"Heard you hate,
the real rejects." And
then he's gonna be like, "I don't even know who the fuck you're talking about."
I have to go see who they are.
Then he's gonna learn about us.
Now I have to go to their channel. But did you have any honorable mentions you want to name check?
None. I got my 10 perfectly nailed down with no contemplation whatsoever. Okay, I got Black Klansman, man. Cool. That film haunted me. Like that. When Spike Lee, I almost said Stanley. When Spike Lee wants to, get a political message across or something like that, push a certain agenda or whatever, he'll commit to it. And I thought Black Klansman, even though I heard a lot of the facts were really mistold, John, what you're doing could not be the most distracting thing. He is opening like 16 different windows at one time right now.
Sent us a super chat, so I want to make sure that we could see it. Thank you, Rich Reviews. I wanted us to be able to see the chat, but also see the list.
3 screens here to work off of, John. It's like pop-up ads or
My
something.
goal was to get your list back in front and the super chat on the side, and then I didn't realize that your list was in the wrong window, and then the other window was also your list, and it wasn't, and it was just a mess. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll go watch Black Klansman, guys. Everyone's great. What do you got?
I'm really sorry. A Quiet Place was definitely one that
That's one of mine.
I debated putting on my list, and I really appreciated it. I was really impressed by it. I don't necessarily love it as much as I did at the time, but I still think that it's every bit as good as I originally did. I really appreciate that movie.
I would also say Quiet Place. Yeah. Bumblebee. I feel bad for not even considering it here.
Bumblebee gets my most improved franchise.
You know what? I'm gonna switch out Bad Times at the El Royale with Bumblebee.
That's fair. I feel like that's.
I really did love Bumblebee a lot.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. I like blockbusters because those are the main things I have to watch to keep up with the reviews on the channel.
True that. No, I really enjoyed Bumblebee. I appreciate it more than I loved
Joseph
it.
Nispel, you rock.
Thanks, man.
John, what else you got, buddy? Let's dish these out.
All right. I might just go. Infinity War, definitely one of the most influential movies of this year. Definitely really appreciated it. Just didn't make my 10. Deadpool 2 as well, same thing. Incredibles 2.
So you just hate comic book movies?
They're just not my favorites. That's all.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed all of those.
Incredibles 2 is one of my honorable mentions as well. That one was a struggle.
And that movie helped me even further appreciate the original. So I really liked that movie a lot. Christopher Robin's
on my list.
A lot of people didn't like, but I did.
I loved it.
Overlord. Green Book is a movie I thought was really charming, really delightful. If you're already aware to a certain degree, it might be kind of redundant for you, but overall it's really heartwarming, really fun. And the last one I think I had was A Star Is Born.
What?
Yeah.
That's your honorable mention?
Well, I only got one more spot, and I thought that's probably my top honorable mention because that's probably I almost had it on my 10 and then it didn't make it.
Way to not put Halloween on there.
Halloween gets my Lifetime Achievement Award. I thought Halloween was really good.
You did what?
I don't know because
they have awards.
I came up with a couple movies that I really appreciated.
Make decisions, John.
I'm having fun with the end of the year movies.
So are we allowed to have fun?
First Man, visual achievement.
On YouTube, are we allowed to? We can't just have fun.
First Man's not one of my favorite movies of the year, but
serious business.
One of the most memorable visual experiences I had all year. So I want to name check it somehow, get creative.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Well, their portrayal of space travel I thought was very potent.
Hey, man. Dude, good for you.
Memorably so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My honorable mentions. Yeah, I got Green Book. I got Ralph Breaks the Internet and American Animals. Hereditary is an honorable mention. There you go. Okay, guys, listen. My number one's A Star Is Born, in case you haven't picked up on that.
Well, see, the thing is, too, is I figured that some of our lists would overlap, and Star Is Born almost made my list. And I was like, you know what? I'll just chime in with you, and it'll all work out.
Yeah, A Star Is Born. That movie moved me to tears 4 different times for 4 different reasons. Damn, that was a grieving experience or some shit.
That was an unbridled, personal-ass movie.
Shakespeare liked to work in comedies and tragedies. This movie is not comedy, but love and tragedy. It was that movie, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Mixed in with great freaking music. Originally composed for this movie, and just throughout, wow. The whole point of a movie is to move you, and without a doubt, the movie that just moved me the entire time was A Star Is Born, just in all different directions.
One of the most intimate and heart-wrenching movies of the year.
Gosh, and best tears, best crying moment from Sam Elliott.
Oh,
you know why? Because you know what real tears are in most men's lives, and I can't speak for women, but maybe.
Oh, sure you can.
For men,
the thing is,
for men who have a hard time crying, the mark of true good acting tears, I feel, with Sam Elliott is he's trying not to cry.
Yeah. That's a good point. Actually.
When he's trying.
I feel like I've heard you you mentioned that before, and it stuck with me.
Oh, really?
The idea that like some of the most authentic crying is when you're trying not to. Yeah,
it depends on the tears.
Yeah,
you know.
But
Like Al Pacino in Godfather 3 when he's fucking bawling at the finale over the death of someone very important.
Yeah,
I want to be like, he's trying not to cry. You know? Like,
no. But some of the most potent, because I imagine that's a hard place to get to, because you have to get to the point where you are, but you're trying.
It's like
not
it's
to.
so built up internally that it's trying to come out. You got to fight it. Like that's fucking emotion right there. Yeah.
No,
So
100%.
that's number one because of that split second with Sam Elliott.
The second he almost cried, you were like, clinched it.
Because when he's almost crying, you're in the theater going, "Oh God,
God. We are crying on his behalf.
are crying for him."
Yeah. All right. My number one pick of the year is also a love story and a tragedy, but there's revenge in it too. And I went with Mandy because that's a John choice.
That's your number one pick?
That's my number one.
I didn't even realize you loved it.
Yeah, man.
I thought you just. I remember because when we were watching, you're like, I'm still thinking about it. You can digest it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because I get very self-aware, and so especially in moments like that when I know things are tailored to me, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I think about this because I know that this is going to be easy for me to like and not think about. And just the more I thought about it, the more it has stuck with me, and I really appreciate what that movie is, because in the time of 80s nostalgia, like it's a very 80s movie in a lot of ways, but it doesn't feel like it's aping shit left and right.
True.
Like any of the other stuff I've seen this year. And yeah, it's when I think back on it, I'm like, weirdly, one of the biggest flavors I remember is that it's a love story. It's a really heartbroken, fucked up love story, but it's like the core is their love. And I really felt that throughout the movie. And also it's a visual splendor. It's dark and crazy and weird. And it's a mishmash of genres. And it's a movie that only this bunch of people could have ever made. Like it feels like it fell out of the wrong time. And it's just one of the most unique and compelling movies I saw all year.
We were having a talk earlier about a lot of the differences between style choice between Matrix 1 and Matrix Reloaded. Mm-hmm. And also the influence of action movies after The Matrix. Mm-hmm. And the thing, I rewatched The Matrix again yesterday, and I noticed that the style a lot of times complements and seems so intentional and purposeful. And I think a lot of the times with these 80s nostalgia kind of throwback movies, they get so caught up in replicating an aesthetic. Like, or this is a grindhouse film, Andy. Let's just throw a bunch of scratches in there. You know what I mean?
Or here's a bunch of things like one thing that kind of detracted from Bumblebee was like, they're like, oh, everyone's watching Alf, and I'm like, I get it. They're watching Alf, you know.
And the thing about Mandy is its whole aesthetic and style. I never get pulled out once going, oh, it's kind of like an 80s or a grindhouse kind of movie. Yeah. Like it feels so intentional with the best way to tell this story. Mm-hmm. Like the shots, the colors, the film grain, even like all that is all in tune with complementing the story, not just cool. You know, it's like after The Matrix, you get a lot of action movies that do a lot of the cool, but it doesn't really do anything.
They don't earn it with the emotions or the story underneath. Or
whereas Mandy's like, it seems to bring out the harrowing aspects of what Red is going through in that movie. So yeah, I would say
it's one of those.
I would say that movie for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that just when I think of it, I feel like it just has its own quintessential quality about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though I was, kind of managed in my emotions afterwards, like I just really loved that movie, and I got to see it twice actually this year in the theaters. So I'm in the theaters. So yeah, that movie really impacted me.
All right, guys. Well, there's our top 10 lists. We're gonna wrap this up in about a minute and a half. Speed round time. Are there any questions we missed from the super chat?
Oh yeah, there were a couple good ones that I saw. Somebody asked, "What film did you think would suck but turned out good?"
Venom. I don't think it was like it hit me before the reaction to when we saw the clip where Venom's like smashing up people. Before that, I admitted that I was like thinking about it and thinking, this movie's probably gonna be bad. Like in just not like a good way at all. And then we saw the clip and it started winning me over, but I was still having like, I'm not sure yet. And then I watched it and I was like, some of this is so bad it's good. Some of this is just good. Either way, I'm really enjoying myself. So I would say Venom was surprisingly a nice surprise for me. Whoa, Eric Horstman.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Damn. Thanks, buddy. All just to say that. We'll take it. Thanks.
I very much appreciate it.
Eric Horstman is one of our top pledges over at Patreon, people. And beyond that, though, this guy and I have a lot of really engaging conversations back and forth all the time. He's a funny guy, got a dark sense of humor, sometimes just a dark guy. But at the same time, he's a guy with a really good heart.
Oh,
Those are the interesting kind.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Horstman guy.
Eric Horstman, give him some love.
And
and just there's one more question.
Yeah, what was the question?
Just what didn't we get to see that we really wanted to?
Oh God, I love this question. Welcome to Marwin. Half of the movies on the worst of list. More legends. No, I would, and then I would. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, just what didn't you get to see that you?
I'm not used to doing live streams and actually seeing the questions. And I'm like, oh, man, it's kind of distracting. Yeah. So what?
What?
I didn't see Revenge. I'm really bummed I haven't seen Revenge yet.
I want to see Revenge.
8th grade, John and I were just talking about going to get, and the documentary that I'm committed to watch. There are 2 documentaries I really want to watch. I really do want to see 3 Identical Strangers.
Oh yeah.
Because I was at Denny's with my lady last night, and I was like, "There's a couple documentaries here that you need to watch, right?" And I was like, "What was the one about the triplets?" And then she went 3 Identical Strangers, and I went, "Oh, that's a good title."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like just thinking of the cleverness of that title, because I go triplets, and then when you break it apart, like, but why are they strangers?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's really intriguing.
That and Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Won't You Be My Neighbor is the other one. Yeah,
I had tickets. I didn't even get to go. Or I had a plan to go. Or didn't you? Didn't you have tickets? You didn't get to go.
Yeah, I had to return mine too. Yeah,
I feel like we both had plans to go.
Something happened. I think something came up for us. Yeah.
Yeah. The 8th grade, Black Klansman I want to see. And Blind Spotting, I've heard so much great about.
JT's favorite movie of the year is Blind Spotting.
Yeah.
And I saw the trailer.
Yeah, me too.
Damn, this looks fucking, like, people talk about how it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, where's the funny in the marketing?
I feel like that's going to be one of those like sleeper, super unique movies that you thought just looked kind of like straightforward or something. But
I'm pretty curious to go check out The House That Jack Built.
I'm always like, his movies are so divisive. I'm always fascinated.
Even though I know I'm going to go from very intrigued to incredibly bored to very intrigued,
kind of grossed out to very intrigued.
Yeah, like it's every Lars von Trier movie for me. Yeah. Wow, it's weird, interesting. Oh my God, this is meandering and boring and pretentious. Wow, that's a graphic moment, you know?
Yeah. Suspiria was one. Speaking of graphic, I've heard it's insane, and that I really, really wanted to see. And it was one of those where I was like, it's almost a 3-hour movie. I don't know when to squeeze this in, especially if we're not going to review it. You know?
Hey, Amy. Oh, Neil, that's a great. That's actually a fantastic. That's a great suggestion for a discussion video. List of films that people are surprised they haven't seen but have no interest to see. I'm not going to list them right now.
Oh, that's fascinating.
People will be dicks.
Yeah.
And I am very fortunate that there are some films I haven't seen yet that I should have seen by now.
Yeah.
That I haven't got a ruin for me yet.
God, that would be your shit.
Yeah.
Why haven't you seen it? Someone ruined it for me in high school.
You know what's funny? Usually, then we're gonna go. Usually, I noticed that with comedies, especially, when people say, "Dude, this is totally your bread humor. This is totally your film," they go and they show it to me, and then I'm like, it's 9 times out of 10 a comedy. Cringe guy, don't worry.
Can you see what they were getting at, or are you usually just like, I don't think so?
Well, the thing is, a lot of time my humor is I'm being. It's like if I do like perv humor or stoner humor or whatever. A lot of the time, I'm kind of mocking it a little bit, you know?
Oh yeah.
So if you actually show me Super Troopers, and I'm like, you know, I'm not weirdly in comedies, I'm not a big fan of that kind of thing.
It's, you know, humor is a weird thing because there's humor I like to engage in person that I just don't necessarily like to watch as a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Or watch as a feature length movie too, because like your sense of humor versus what you would want to watch for 90 minutes can be different.
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
Like,
true,
yeah.
true.
And
Like,
yeah, Super Troopers, I laughed through, but didn't really care about.
yeah, Super
Like,
Troopers is one especially that like the one that's I feel like out of like stoner comedies especially to me it's Pineapple Express because as I've seen Half Baked and how high
I like Half Baked and I like Smiley Face.
I'm okay. I haven't seen Smiley Face. I'm okay with Half Baked, but the thing is, freaking Pineapple Express to me, I'm like, you think you're walking in just some stoner comedy, but then it ends up becoming like a really well done movie.
Here's the difference: is that Half Baked, you're like, this is a stoner comedy, and I feel like stoners probably made it. Whereas Pineapple Express, you're like, a lot of stoners worked on this.
Yeah.
I don't think the guy who directed this was high at the time.
Yeah.
It's such a kinetic movie that's doing so many things that
and it's clever and it's well, like it's witty and it has a heart to it.
I don't think you have to be a stoner to like that movie necessarily.
Like, if anything, Harold and Kumar hits that mark a little bit better of just being like a full out raunch, vulgar movie and succeeding at doing it.
Yeah. At least the first and the third one. I've heard.
Although Christmas Vacation really hit the mark for me.
Yeah,
like, that's a movie people said I would like, and then I watched it and I'm like, yeah, I love this movie. Yeah, that really hit the mark.
That's a movie.
It's not a gross out movie, kind of. There's like a couple jokes.
There's a shit on the sidewalk.
Yeah, just a couple jokes. Yeah.
I saw that for the first time a couple years ago, and that was actually a movie where I was like, I know people love this. I'm not really. I could not. I don't care really if I see it or not. And then I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching us. Thanks for sticking around for all the meandering points. Forever stuck here this long.
Happy 2019.
Who here has been here since the beginning of this live stream? Anyone? Or
who's getting that watch time?
People just go in and out.
Greg is
I acknowledge cringe guy, and he totally missed it.
Dude.
John Reese. Is this the first time I'm seeing this comment?
Yeah.
Please react to the Spider-Man fan film.
No one's mentioned it.
Oh, hey, Lene,
what's up, yo?
John Reese, Amy O'Neill, that guy, Sabino, Nicholas, Jason Doling. That's okay, Jason.
You guys have been so cool.
Juvia? Niotic? Carter loves you. That's still a good amount of time.
Brittany Graham.
All right, guys.
Shouts out to the patrons who showed up. Niraj, Jason Dolan, Eric Horseman, Lene, anybody who I didn't see who's here.
Goodbye, colorful Colorado.
Did you you fucked yourself over, man.
Yourself over, man.
Yeah.
All right.
If you can't love the both of us, man.
You can not like me.
Don't you commented throughout the live stream.
See you guys. Happy New Year. We'll post the Venom reaction in the morning or something. Man, that live stream was tough.
Yeah. I really hate all of our viewers.
I hate all of our viewers.
I really hate them all. I'm not grateful for any of this.
I'm just glad it's finally over.
Yep.
And that we could be alone.
Yep. Alone.
Do you want to see my butthole?
I don't know why you're laughing. I've been waiting to see your butthole for a long time.
I was just nervous.
Don't be nervous, man.
I am.
Be yourself. You're more open than either of us. Maybe if we should go live again, and maybe if you show your butthole, we'll get even more super chats.
Oh,
people will support your courage.
Dude, we got to get super
as an older
chats.
woman getting naked on screen.
The days of just doing videos and letting ad revenue pay for everything are over.
Yeah.
Now the audience must give you money directly.
We're gonna download OBS and do all of our reactions live. I think that's what's the future of this YouTube shit.
Oh shit, are we still on?
What? Are you serious?
Oh god, turn it off!
After we said those things?